Welcome to our weekly Bhagavad Gita discussion. So let's continue. All right. So who is Tina Dayalan Prabhu? Hare Krishna Prabhu? Because first time I'm seeing you. Are you new here, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Tina Dayalan Prabhu, you there? Okay. So yeah, we can start. Let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, bro.
All right. நம்ம எங்க ஸ்டாப் பண்ணோம்? 13.
17, sir.
All right, nice. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam bhuta bhuta bhrutrcha tatnyeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam bhuta bhrutrcha tatnyeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam bhuta bhrutrcha tatnyeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Prabhus?
Could I try, Prabhu?
Yes, try பண்ணுங்க bro.
Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha stidam bhuta varchatneyam krasishnu prabhavishnu cha. Hare Krishna, bro.
Anyone else?
I can
I
try.
try,
Prabhu.
sir.
Yeah, Harishwan Prabhu can try, then RC Mataji can try. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Continue, Harishwan Prabhu.
Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva sastitam bhutabarthar chatach neyam krishninu prabhavishnu cha.
Okay.
Yes.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, sir. Avibhaktam cha bhutesu vibhakta eva cha sitam bhuta brachata nenam grasinu prabha vishnu cha. Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So, avibhaktam, so without division, cha also, bhuteshu, in all living beings, vibhaktam, divided, iva, as if, cha also, stitam, situated, bhutabhrit, the maintainer of all living entities, cha also, tat, that, nyayam, to be understood, grashishnu, devouring, prabhavishnu, developing, cha also. Although the super soul appeared to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. So we are still speaking about Paramatma. Okay, so we will see the purport first. Okay, Prabhu, you can read the purport. Arjun Prabhu.
The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. Does this mean that he has become divided? No. Actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks where is the sun, everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one, Vishnu, is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. And the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the time of annihilation. This was confirmed in the 11th chapter when the Lord said that he had come to devour all the warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. He also mentioned that in the form of time, he devours also. He is the annihilator, the killer of all. Where there is creation, he develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, he devours them. The Vedic hymns confirms the fact that he is the origin of all living entities and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to rest in him. These are the confirmation of Vedic hymns. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jathani jivanti yat prayanti abhisham vishanti tat brahma tat vijnashashva. Tatriya Upanishad 3.1.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, Krishna is establishing, although the super soul appeared to be divided among all beings, because what we have learned in a previous discussion, okay, let us recall. So maybe I would like to hear from the from Prabhu's and Mataji's. So what if we have understood about Paramatma? So maybe in your understanding, okay. So Paramatma na enna? So what do you understand about Paramatma? Yes, சொல்லுங்க Arishran Prabhu. What do you understand? You're muted, Prabhu. You're muted.
Based on last week's class, you also asked the same question. How you view? What's
Yeah.
your view on Paramatma?
Okay.
So I think I mentioned about Paramatma being Chaita Guru witnesses in
So you
the
give
heart.
me your refined understanding. So previous understanding now is the latest updated understanding. So what is
Latest,
Paramatma? Yes, I mean
latest
what is the
updated.
your current understanding? I believe that right now you have more understanding on Paramatma compared to our earlier discussion, right? Before we start, right? So
Yes.
maybe you can explain. So what is Paramatma?
So basically, one thing that I would add on to my understanding is the omnipresence of Paramatma. And we discussed about whether, okay, if you're saying Paramatma is omnipresent, then are you saying that he's also in the stool? So, and then we came down to a discussion of saying that even though the Paramatma is all pervading, exists everywhere, he is not affected by the material conditioning. He is aloof of the material conditioning. So
Yes.
that's one thing that I would say that had on to my understanding.
Yes.
And other than that, um, yeah, that's one thing that I would add on to.
Good. So basically, Mataji's, anyone? Arsi Mataji? Anything? Yes.
I think super soul in every living entity is
Yeah.
Paratma
Paramatma is in every living entity. It's
entity,
called
super
super
soul.
soul. Okay. Yes. So, Paramatma means all pervading. So, it is everywhere in every living entity, even inside the atoms, matter. So, it is everywhere. பகவான் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் பரமாத்மாவாக இருக்காரு. ஆல் பர்வேடிங். இதான் நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ஓகேங்களா? So, why it is called Paramatma? Why it is called super? Why not soul? So because we are the living entity, we are conscious. Paramatma is also living entity. Paramatma is also conscious. right? But what is the difference? We are living entity, individual. But Paramatma, he is individual also, but he knows about every living entity. That is the difference, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Oh Arjuna, I know everyone, but no one knows me." Right? So like that, Paramatma knows everybody, every living entity, everything. Right? So that is why he is called Parama, super. Right? So this is a different. So we have limited understanding, we have limited knowledge, Atma have limited knowledge, Paramatma have unlimited knowledge. இதான் நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Right? So and Atma is only limited, individual soul. You only know your body, but Paramatma is everywhere, unlimited. And Paramatma knows every body, every atoms, matter and spirit. So this is the difference. So what is this Paramatma? Paramatma is Anga of Bhagavan. So in Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, so Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti Shabdyate. அப்படின்னா the absolute truth can be understood in three aspects. The very basic understanding is Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, effulgent. Right? And then the second understanding is Paramatma, everywhere, all pervading. And then the complete understanding is that Bhagavan, there is a supreme person, personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. He is a person with a transcendental form, transcendental nature. He is Bhagavan. And from Bhagavan comes Paramatma and also Brahma, Brahma Jyoti. So this is the perfect understanding. And Krishna says, I am Bhagavan. So now Krishna is speaking about Paramatma. So Bhagavan is explaining to us about his aspect. So this is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. We have direct knowledge, direct perception. Pratyaksha Vagamam, Dharmyam. Directly from Bhagavan. Right? So now in today's verse, Krishna is elaborating that நம்ம மொதல் என்ன சொன்னோம், பரமாத்மானா எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்கணும்னு. அப்போ நம்மளுடைய மண்டை என்ன நினைக்கும், நம்மளுடைய இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் என்ன நினைக்கும், எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருந்தோன்னா என்ன ஆகணும், அப்போ எல்லா இடத்துலையும் கிருஷ்ணா டிவைட் பண்ணியிருக்காரா, அப்படி தானே நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம். இப்போ when you say Paramatma is everywhere, that means it is divided, right? So let's say we have 100 people in this house. So Paramatma is divided into 100 and is situated inside their heart. Is it? Let's say we have a lot of atoms. Matter is made of atoms. We have a lot of living entity. So அப்போ பரமாத்மா எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்காரு. ஸோ இப்போ ஒரு கேள்வி வருது. என்ன கேள்வி? So is Paramatma divided? Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu. Krishna is answering. Super soul, although appear to be divided, he is never divided. புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்களா? ஸோ நம்மளுடைய அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் என்ன, எனக்கு 100 வெள்ளி இருக்கு, ஸோ 100 வெள்ளியை நான் 100 பேருக்கு பிரித்தா எனக்கு கொசம். அப்படி கிடையாது. ஸோ பகவான் இஸ் there when he explains himself as Paramatma, he still remain the perfect person. So what shloka is this?
Isha Upanishad.
Yeah, so this is very much relatable to Isha Upanishad. Very much relatable. Right? So, well, let's go to the shloka. அப்போ நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். So what is the shloka? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Right? So எவ்வளோ அழகாக இங்கே ஈஷா உபனிஷாடோட இன்வோகேஷன் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உபனிஷாட் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்ட் Krishna is Purnam. Om means who? Om na enna? So இப்போ கேள்வி வருது, பிரபு, what is Om?
Om. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "I'm the syllable of Om in Vedic."
Omkara.
Om is
Kara.
a, is a unit to measure electricity. Ohm, resistance. Okay, so that is different ohm. So the here ohm. So what is ohm? Omkara. So what is this ohm? So the proper understanding is Om is referring to Krishna, Bhagavan. Krishna's to Bhagavan. Huh? So in the Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. So Om என்றது யாருன்னா Om is not something impersonal. Om என்றது வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு ஒலியோ ஏதோ ஒரு சவுண்டோ கிடையாது. Of course, Om is a transcendental vibration. But this Om is actually none different than Bhagavan. Because those vibration won't be there without Krishna. Krishna is the cause of all cause. Sarva Karana Karanam. So Brahmadevar வந்து பாடுறாரு Brahma Samhitala. What is the shloka? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Anadiradir Govinda. He is the cause of all cause. He is the beginning of all beginning. Anadiradir Govinda. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all cause, which is including of the Om. So Om Purnam. அப்படின்னா Krishna is complete. Purnam என்னது? Complete. Perfect. So Om Purnamada Purnamedam. Okay. So and because he is completely perfect, Purnat Purnam Udechyate. Udechyate means things which is emanating from him, which is coming from him, produced from him. So whatever it is emanating and coming, whatever it is material or spiritual, whatever it is emanating from him, it is also perfect and complete. Because who is the cause? Krishna is the cause. So when Krishna is the cause, everything is perfect and complete. There's no error. There's no problem. Okay. So Purnasya Purnam Adaya. Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. So whatever it is produced of the complete whole is also complete in self. Alright? And because he is the complete whole, Purnasya Purnam Adaya. What is the meaning Adaya? Even though from him coming many things, from him emanating many things, is expanding, coming, is created from him. He is the source of everything, but he remains complete, right? That means 1 minus 1 is 1. So what we know is 1 minus 1, 0. 5 minus 4, 1. That means when we are giving away, we become reduced. So this is our mundane understanding. When we speak about God, when we speak about Bhagavan, even though he can manifest himself in many ways, he can expand himself in many forms, even though he created multiple universe, unlimited universe, he still remain Purnam. Purnasya Purnam. This is understanding. Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. He remains complete balance. So now let's go back to Paramatma. Same thing. So even though Krishna, he expands himself as Paramatma in every atoms, in every animate and inanimate things, still he is undivided. Purnam. So Purnam eva Vashishyate. Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam eva Vashishyate. Is that clear, Prabhu? Clear? Right. So very nice. So இதுதான் வந்து இங்க நம்ம பார்க்குறோம். Okay. So he is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is understood that he devours and develops all. So let's go to the purport. So Lord is situated in everyone's heart. பிரபு அதை படிச்சாரு. ஸோ பகவான் வந்து எல்லா உயிரினங்களையும் இருக்கு, எல்லா இதுலேயும் இருக்காரு. So does it mean he has become divided? No. Actually, he is one. So now Shastra is giving, Prabhupada is quoting example from the Shastra. The example is the sun. Very nice example. Right? So if a sun pathingana, when I ask, when I ask now people who are in Australia, people who are now having a daytime, when I ask them, is there a sun? The answer is yes. So when you ask someone who is also in different country, which are having the daytime, is there a sun? Yes. Even if you ask me in Malaysia, is there a sun? Of course there is sun. But right now, it is not manifested. But sun is always there. Correct or not? So the point is, Prabhupada is telling, the sun is situated in one place, but it can actually enlighten all the universe. So இதுதான் பாயிண்ட். ஸோ நீங்கள் இப்போ நீங்கள் உங்களை கேட்டாலும் சன் இஸ் தேன்னு சொல்லுவீங்க, நீங்கள் வேறு கண்ட்ரி பீப்புள் கேட்டாலும் சன் இஸ் தேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ இட் இஸ் நாட் டிவைடட், இட்ஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் தேர் and it is not divided. So everything will say that it is shining on his aid. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. So it's also said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence. Omnipotence. அப்படின்னா என்னது? Omnina, multi. He is everywhere. He is multipotence. So like omnivore. The scientists are now claiming that human beings are omnivore. War means to eat. So we can eat anything, no restriction. So like that, they are speculating. So similarly here Bhagavan is establishing, I am omnipotent. Omnipotent means he is everywhere. He is all pervading. He has omnipotency, various potencies. So just as the sun appears in many places to many persons, yes. So as the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, devours everything at the time of annihilation, right? So நீங்க பாருங்க, இங்க Bhagavan is also the maintainer and he is also the annihilator, and he is also the creator. So இதை நம்ம தெளிவா புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So actually the primary creator, primary maintainer and the primary annihilator is Krishna, Vishnu. Then comes the secondary creator, Brahma. Then comes the secondary annihilator, Lord Shiva. அதை நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So they are not equal. So Padma Purana said that the one who thinks that Lord Vishnu is equivalent to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they are Pashandi. Pashandi means they are rascals. They are atheists. Right? This is the injunction of Padma Purana. Right? So that is how we should, very important to understand this philosophy, this knowledge. Right? So this was confirmed in the 11th chapter when the Lord says that he had come to devour all the various warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. Bhagavan சொல்றாரு, I have come to smash, annihilate all of them. Right? So in what? In the form of time. So he says, he also mentioned that in the form of time he devours all. Right? So பாருங்களேன், time is a very powerful factor. இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிறது நாளைக்கு இருக்காது. இன்னைக்குள்ள உடல் நாளைக்கு இருக்காது. இப்போ உங்களுடைய சின்ன வயசு பிக்சர் எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஹரீஸ்வரன் பிரபு, when you see your picture during 3 years old or 4 years old, are you having the same body right now? No. Where is the body? What happened to the body? What happened to the body?
It has changed over time.
Transformed. So basically time, இதுதான் கிருஷ்ணா இதான் சொல்றாரு. That is say Krishna says time, I am very powerful. So maybe in another 200 years, where's your body? Don't know. Already merged with the fire, air, ether, water, right? So we don't know where's your body, right? We don't know. Definitely we know your body is already being merged with the Panchabhutas. So time. So creation, maintenance, destruction. So all the time factors very important. So Krishna says he is the annihilator, the killer of all. So when there is creation, he develops all from the original state. And at the time of annihilation, he devours them. So the Vedic hymn confirm the fact that he is the origin of all living entity. He is the origin. Bhoktaram Yaknyatapasham Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Nyattvamam Shantim Rachati. Right? Bhagavad Gita. Krishna சொல்றாரு Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the supreme controller. I am the control of everything. He is the original. Sarva Karana Karanam. Adi Bhagavan. Thiruvalur எடுக்கிறாரு. அகர முதல இடத்தெல்லாம் ஆதி பகவன் முதற்றே உலகு. அதான் திரும்பி இங்க பிரபுபாட் சொல்றாரு. He is the origin of all living entity and the rest of all. So after creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to the rest in him. So these are the confirmation of Vedic hymns. So இது தைத்திரிய உபனிஷாலே சொல்லப்பட்டிருக்கு. So yato va emani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti Yad prayanti abhisham vishanti tad brahma tad vijnana shashva. Right? So basically the meaning here is, as what Prabhupada stated here, Krishna is the maintainer. Krishna is the creator. Jayante. Everything comes from him. And everything is maintained by him. And everything is also annihilated by him. He is the cause of all cause. He is the maintainer of all living entity. Very clear. Okay. Now let's go to the next verse. Jyotishamapi tajyotis tamasa paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hirdi sarvasya vishtitam. Jyotishamapi tajyotis tamasa paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam Hridi sarvasya vishtitam. Yes, Prabhu, you can try.
I can try, Prabhu. Jyotisham api tad jyotish tamasa paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnana gamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam.
Yes. Next, anyone? Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, shall I try Prabhu?
Yes. Try Panang Mataji.
Jodisam abitas jodis tamasya param yuchade nanam neyam nana gamyam riti sarvasya vishtidam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice. Jyotisham, Jyoti. In all luminous object. Api also. That. Jyoti. Jyoti means the source of light. Jyotihi. Tamasa means darkness. Tamasa. Param, beyond. Uchyate is said. Jnanam, knowledge. Jneyam, to be known. Jnanam, knowledge. Jneyam, the object of knowledge. Jnanagamyam, to be approached by knowledge. Hirdi, heart, irdayam. Sarvasya, of everyone. Vishtitam, situated. So translation. He is the source of light in all luminous object. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge and he is the goal of knowledge. And he is situated in everyone's heart. Perfect. So Krishna is answering the questions of what is the object of knowledge? What is the knowledge? Right? So basically, இங்கே தான் கிருஷ்ணா சொல்கிறாரு that Paramatma is the source of light in all luminous. He is beyond darkness of matter. Right? So even though he might be in darkness according to our material understanding, still he is beyond that darkness of matter. புரியுதுங்களா? So he is knowledge. He is Satchit Ananda. He is always full of unlimited knowledge. So இதுதான் வந்து கிருஷ்ணா நம்மளுக்கு விளக்குறாரு. ஓகேங்களா? He is situated in everyone's heart. ஸோ இப்போ எல்லோரும் உங்கள் இதயத்தை பாருங்கள். உங்கள் இதயத்தை தொட்டிங்கன்னா பகவான் வந்து எங்கே இருக்கார்? இங்கே இருக்கார். Where is your heart situated? Basically, your heart is where? Where is your heart? The left side. உங்களுடைய left side. ஸோ உங்கள் ரைட் ஹேண்ட் எடுத்து நீங்கள் இப்படி செஞ்சு இப்படி வச்சிங்கன்னா this is your location of the heart. Your right hand, you cross it like this, you make a fist, and this is your heart, the anatomical location of your heart, right? So within this region, Atma is also here. Atma is also here. Yo, which is you. You are the Atma. ஆத்மானா நீங்கள் தான். ஸோ நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறோம், இந்த உடல் தான் நம்ம நினச்சிக்கிறோம். ஸோ பேசிக்கலி நீங்கள் இந்த ஆத்மானா இதை தான், இங்கே தான் இருக்க ஆத்மா, நம்ம தான் அது. ஆத்மாவுக்கு அங்கே தான் வந்து பரமாத்மாவும் இருக்கார். ஸோ ஹீ situated in everyone's heart. Okay, so let's see the purport. The super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is a source of lights in all luminous objects, like the sun, moon, and stars. So நம்ம பார்க்குறோம், there's sun every day, morning rising, every night there's moon rising, there's a twinkling stars. ஸோ இதுக்கெல்லாம் லைட் எங்கேருந்து வருது, அதான் கேள்வி. இப்போ ஸோ what do you think, according to physics, how far we have understood about sun? So maybe you can shed us some knowledge on this. What is the source of light for the sun? Scientists என்ன சொல்றாங்க? So nuclear reaction, nuclear fusion, right? So there is actually a nuclear reaction is happening, so that actually this is what I remembered when I study physics. So this is what the scientists are telling. So the sun is like a cannonball, it's a fireball. It keep dividing. The nuclear reaction is constantly happening, right? So அதனால என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, it generates heat. In this way there is fire, and therefore there is a effulgence, right? So that is why the scientists now they are predicting that there will be a time where the sun will lose its power, because ஒரு நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்ஷன்னா ஒரு அந்த எனர்ஜி குறையிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. It won't go on eternally. So at one point there will be no sun, and everything will be frozen, and every living entity will die. This is the conclusion, they said. But ultimately that is not the case, because everything is working on the potency, on the omnipotency of Krishna. அதை நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ இந்த சூரியனுக்கு scientists cannot give proper answer how the sun is actually eternally, constantly giving light. They are giving an inference that nuclear reaction. But so if you are telling that this is a reaction, then why not you produce a sun? Very nice proposition, right? If you are telling I know how the sun is working, I know everything, the chemical component of sun. அப்படி உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்கன்னா, why not you create a sun? You put your sun, put one sun there. Can you do that? Cannot. So why you cannot create a sun? Because you don't know what is sun. You have no understanding of sun. Can you create a moon? Cannot. So how these planets are flirting? How these suns are rotating in the axis? Gravity, physics, gravity. There's a gravitational force, right? Correct, Prabhu? That's understanding. So now my question is, the gravity எங்கிருந்து வருது? உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்னா, you create a gravity. When you go to the moon, you create a gravity so that you won't be floating. So why you cannot create gravity? That means what? That means you don't have complete knowledge. So you know that there is something beyond our understanding. And what is the answer? Krishna says, yes, the planets are floating on my will. So the gravity is coming from Krishna. He is the source of all luminous objects, all these powerful energies. Makes sense, right? So science cannot explain. So if you feel that science is ultimate truth, but when we are speaking about mundane science, I'm not speaking about the Vedic science. Vedic science is the actual science, factual things. Right? We are speaking about the imperfect science, right?
Yeah.
So avidya,
Where do you get the soap too?
avidya, right? So okay, so அதனால தான் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா science cannot answer, but Krishna is explaining here. He is the source of all these things. So in the Vedic literature, we find that in the spiritual kingdom there is no need of sun and moon because the effulgence of Supreme Lord is there. So there is also another world, spiritual world. Spiritual world பார்த்தீங்கன்னா na shashanka na. There is one very nice verse. Na shashanka na pavakaha. Yes. Let's see this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Na tat bhashayate suryo na shashanka na pavakaha. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dama paramam mama. Please read, Prabhu, the translation.
The supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never returns to this material world.
So Krishna is describing what is abode. அதில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா there is no need for sun. ஏன் sun இல்லைனா there is no need for sun. Because everything is self-effulgent. The planet itself is self-effulgent. The body of the citizen itself is self-effulgent. Right? So in the material world, that Brahma Jyotir and the effulgent is covered by Mahatattva, the material elements. Therefore, in this material world, we require the ascension of sun, moon, electricity for light. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of such thing. It is clearly stated in the Vedic literature that because of his luminous effulgence, everything is illuminated. It is clear, therefore, that his situation is not in the material world. He is situated in the spiritual world, which is far, far away in the spiritual sky. This is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. Shvetashvatara Upanishad 3.8. He is just like the sun. Adityana sun. Aditya Varnam. He is just like a sun. Eternally luminous. Parastat. But he is very far, far beyond the darkness of this material world. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. Tamasa means darkness, ignorance. Right? So this is a description of Brahman, Bhagavan. Right? So இதில் நமக்கு என்ன புரியுது? So there is a material world, there is a spiritual world. So spiritual world is where Bhagavan is there. Personally he is residing there. And Krishna is also personally residing in our material world also. He is there as Archa Vigraha. He is also there as our Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So Bhagavan எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்காரு. ஸோ அதனால தான் நான் சொன்னேன் லிபரேஷன் என்னது? Liberation means a change of consciousness. When you become Krishna consciousness, then you are liberated. So eternally you can associate with Krishna even in this material world. So do not think that you have to leave this body to become liberated. Because liberation means basically is the consciousness, 100% Krishna consciousness. Krishna Chaitanya. அதனால தான் கிருஷ்ணரே வந்து கிருஷ்ண சைத்தன்யமே வந்து கிருஷ்ண சைத்தன்யம் பற்றி சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காரு. கிருஷ்ண சைத்தன்யா மீன்ஸ் கிருஷ்ண கான்ஷியஸ்னஸ். It's why it's called Chaita. Chaitanya means consciousness. So that is why Krishna came as Chaitanya, to change our consciousness, to revive our consciousness. Right? So his knowledge is transcendental. The Vedic literature confirms that Brahman is concentrated transcendental knowledge. The one who is anxious to be transferred to the spiritual world, knowledge is given by Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. What is the mantra? Where the Lord is situated in everyone's heart. And from him comes knowledge. Is one mantra. Aham sarvasya. What sloka is that? Aham sarvasya hirdya sanivishto. Mataf smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Right? It is actually Bhagavad Gita 15. Right? Very important shloka, right? Yes, Sarvasya Chaham. Okay, I've the Balek and the Shloka. Okay, so Aham Sarvasya Sarvasya Chaham. Right, so Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishto. Memorize this Shloka. Very important, very beautiful Shloka. Hmm? So Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishto Mata Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. So Krishna சொல்றாரு Sarvasya Chaham Hridi. I am in everyone's heart. In everyone's, in every living entity's heart. So Matav Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. And from me comes remembrance, Smritir, Jnanam, knowledge, and Apohanam, forgetfulness. Vedasya sarvair ahameva vedyo. Krishna says, of all the Vedas, I am to be known, I am the goal. Vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. I am the compiler of Vedas. I am the knower of Vedas. Very important shloka to be memorized. Okay. So like that. So Krishna is the one transferring the knowledge given to us. He is giving to us because he is there as Paramatma. And how he is transferring? He is already there giving us this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. He has sent us acharyas. So all these personalities are actually, as Prabhu said, Chaitya Guru. This is Chaitya Guru. When we take instruction from bona fide parampara, this is Chaitya Guru. This is the process. One Vedic mantra, Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6:18 says, Tanhadevam Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshur Vaisharanam Aham Prapatye. One must surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he at all want liberation. So, yarkitta surrender panano? Sharanam Aham Prapatye. Who is that? Prapatye means surrender. Atma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshur Vaisharanam Aham Prapatye says, Tamha Devam Atma Buddhi. So, one must, that Devam, Tamha Devam means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you want mumukshu means what? Liberation, mumukshu. Right. So as far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, it is also confirmed in the Vedic literature, tam eva viditva atimrityameti. Only by knowing him, very important, only by knowing him one can surpass the boundary of birth and death. Very interesting. You know what is very interesting? The exact quotation here in Upanishad is repeated by Thiruvallavar in his Kadavul Valthu. I mean, it's just clicking to me right now. So you read carefully here. Tam eva viditvati mrityameti. Only by knowing him, one can surpass the boundary of birth and death. Right? So in the previous shloka of 6:18, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it says one should surrender unto the personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And as far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, Prabhupada is telling here, goal of knowledge is what? To surrender. Right? So now let's go into Tirukural. Amazing. So Tirukural நம்ம போய் பார்த்தோம்னா okay, let's see Tirukural. So கடவுள் வாழ்த்து நம்ம போகும்போது ஓகே, வெரி நைஸ். யாருக்கு தமிழ் படிக்க தெரியும்? So cannot hear you, Prabhu.
Not a very fluent Tamil reader, Prabhu.
Okay, please, I need someone to fluent reader. யாருக்கு தமிழ் படிக்க தெரியும்? Okay, I think the only person who can read Tamil is Dineshwaran Prabhu. I hope Prabhu is there online. இருக்கீங்களா Prabhu? Anyone else? I think all Matajis? No. Huh? So I think Prabhu is not there. Okay, so basically, very important. இந்த பார்த்தீங்கன்னா we'll go to here. We'll go to here. Yes. Right. அறவாளி அறவாளி அந்தணன், அறவாளி அந்தணன் தாள் சேர்ந்தார், அளவாரி அந்தணன் தாள் சேர்ந்தார் கல்லால் பிறவாளி நீந்தால், பிறவாளி நீந்தால் அரிது, அரிது, பிறவாளி நீந்தால் அரிது, அரிது. Okay, sorry for the bad, I am not a fluent in reading Tamil. Okay, basically என்ன அர்த்தம் நீங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, so you can read this. Okay. Please read, Prabhu, the translation here.
None can swim the sea of vice, but those who are united to the feet of that gracious being who is a sea of virtue.
Okay, don't worry about all these bombastic word of sea of vice, sea of virtue. இதெல்லாம் வந்து இங்கிலீஷில் translate பண்ணுறாங்க. These are translated by people who doesn't know Shastra. So basically point என்னன்னா, by the point is clear. So unless you surrender to his feet, unless you surrender to his feet, you cannot cross the ocean of birth and death. This is the meaning. புரியுதுங்களா? So this is the meaning actually. You need to read Parimela Algar's commentary, உங்களுக்கு தெளிவாக புரியும். So the meaning வந்து அதுதான். So basically unless we surrender to the feet, எப்படி உபனிஷத் சொல்லுது பாருங்க, unless we surrender to the feet of Bhagavan, we cannot cross this birth, the ocean of birth and death. Yes, this is the one, this is the one. This is also very clear here. Okay, very nice. இதில் நம்ம பார்க்கலாம் பாருங்க. பிறவி பிறவி பெருங்கடல், பிறவி பெருங்கடல் நீந்தவர், பிறவி பெருங்கடல் நீந்தவர் நின்றார், நின்றார் இறைவன் அடிசேர் தார், இறைவன் அடி சேர்ந்தார், அடி 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 சேர அடி சேரத்தார், அடி சேரத்தார். ஸோ பேசிக்கலி இங்கே பாருங்கள், இங்கிலீஷ்லேயே பார்க்கலாம். பிறவி பெருங்கடல் நீந்தவர் நீந்தார் இறைவன் அதிசேரத்தார். ஓகே, ப்ளீஸ் ரீட் த மீனிங் ஹியர் also, Prabhu.
None can swim the great sea of births, but those who are united to the feet of God.
பிறவி பெருங்கடல் தமிழ்லேயே நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். பிறவி பெருங்கடலில் வந்து நம்ம நீந்த முடியாது, தாண்ட முடியாது. அப்படி நம்ம பகவானுடைய இந்த இறைவன் அடி, இறைவன் அடி, இறைவன்னா பகவான், அடினா லோட்டஸ் ஃபீட், அடி அடி சேர் அப்படின்னா when we don't surrender unto the பகவானுடைய அடி, காலடி, அது தமிழில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அடி மீன்ஸ் ஃபீட். ஸோ அப்போ திருவள்ளுவர் என்ன சொல்கிறாரு, த ஃபைனல் ஸ்லோகா ஆஃப் கடவுள் வாழ்த்து, யூ cannot swim the ocean of birth and death if you are not united to the feet of God. So now you tell me, Prabhu, is it same as the Upanishad verse? Same or not same? Let's go back to the Upanishad. Okay, please now read.
Only by knowing him can one surpass the boundary of birth and death.
Yes, one must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, can you see the similarities? So, அப்போ யார் யார் வந்து இங்கே தமிழர்கள் சொல்கிறாங்களோ அப்படின்னா திருக்குறள் வந்து ரொம்ப, பிகாஸ் we have people who are very much attached to Tamil and Kural, but they say they are atheist. They say they are என்ன சொல்கிறாங்க, they are not bound to any religion because Tamil is beyond any religion. Nonsense. Because when we speak about Tamil, it is none different than Bhagavan, because it is Tamil is used to glorify Bhagavan. So you must understand how our ancestors use this language to speak about Bhagavan. அப்போ சிறந்த தமிழர்கள் என்ன பண்ணாங்க, திருவள்ளுவர், you can see how you use the Tamil to give us the essence of Upanishads. இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்களா, அந்த கடல் வாழ்த்து வந்து ஒன்றும் இல்லை, பட் எசன்ஸ் ஆஃப் வாட், ஒரு சாஸ்திரா. ஏன் சொன்னோம், யார் பிரபு சொல்லுவா, ஒரு 86 சொல்லுவானா, அந்த பிறவி கடலை தாண்டோன்னா இறைவனுடைய அடியை சேரணும்னு சொல்லுவானா அட்லீஸ்ட்டு? சொல்ல மாட்டான். அப்படின்னா தமிழர்கள் யாரு? தமிழர்கள் வந்து பகவானுடைய பக்தர்கள், கிருஷ்ண பக்தர்கள். யாரு சிறந்த தமிழர்கள்? அவ்வை பாட்டி. அவ்வை பாட்டி என்ன சொல்றாங்க? திருமால் அடிமை செய். திருமால்னா பெருமாள். அவ்வை பாட்டி இஸ் டெல்லிங், ஔவையார். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கம்பராமாயணம். கம்பர் இஸ் a well-known poet who composed ராமாயணா in Tamil. ஸோ அவர் தான் கம்பராமாயணம் தமிழில் நம்மளுக்கு வந்துச்சு. And how he composed? Based on வால்மீகி ராமாயணம், because வால்மீகி ராமாயணம் is original ராமாயணம். ஸோ வால்மீகி ராமாயணத்தை வச்சு ஸோ அவங்க கம்பர் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு? சம்ஸ்கிருத்தில் அந்த வால்மீகி ராமாயணத்தை டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணி தமிழில் கொடுக்குறாரு தமிழர்களுக்கு. ஸோ அப்போ எங்கே அரங்கேற்றம் பண்ணுறாரு? அரங்கேற்றம் மீன்ஸ் he present, the first time ever after he composed, he presented in front of the scholars, in front of the poet. He presented, just like when you do your thesis, you have to do presentation. Yes or not? Like if you are going to do PhD, right? You have a thesis. You have to present to the doctors, the PhD doctors. They will evaluate. Similarly, all these thesis presentations, nothing new. It is already practiced by our ancestors. ஸோ கம்பர் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு? அவருடைய அசைன்மெண்ட் செஞ்சு முடிச்சுட்டு கம்பராமாயணம் அசைன்மெண்ட் கம்போஸ் பண்ணிட்டாரு வால்மீகியை பேஸ் பண்ணி. நவ் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பிரசன்ட். அப்போ அந்த பேனல்ஸ் அப்ரூவ் பண்ணாதான் கம்பராமாயணம் இஸ் வேலிட். ஸோ ஆல் த ஸ்காலர்ஸ் தே கம்போல். எங்கே நடந்துச்சு இது? எங்கே நடந்துச்சுன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எங்கன்னா ஸ்ரீரங்கம், ஸ்ரீ ரங்கநாத சுவாமி ஆலயத்தில், ஸ்ரீ ரங்கநாத சுவாமி கோவில். When you go to the Sri Ranganatha Swami temple, which is in Srirangam, you get down in Tiruchi, 25 minutes from Tiruchi. அப்போ ரங்கநாதர் அங்கே இருக்காரு, பகவான் அங்கே படுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காரு. ஸோ அந்த இடத்துல போனீங்கன்னா கம்ப அரங்கேற்றம் ஒரு இடம் இருக்கும், கம்பராமாயண அரங்கேற்றம். there is a place. ஸோ கம்பர் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு? அங்கே உட்காந்து கம்பராமாயணத்தை ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணுறாரு. யார் முன்னுக்கு? பகவான் முன்னுக்கு. ஸோ அப்போ இதை கம்போஸ் பண்ணி எல்லாம் சொல்லும் போது ஆல் த போயட்ஸ், ஆல் த சாதுஸ் ஆர் லிசனிங். ஸோ அப்போ ஒரு கட்டத்தில் என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, ஒரு கட்டத்தில் வந்து ஹீல் பி கிவிங் அ ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் நர்ஷிங் அவதாரா. ஹீ இஸ் ஸ்பீக்கிங் ராமாயணா, பட் ஹீல் பி ஸ்பீக்கிங் இன்சிடென்ட் ஆஃப் நர்ஷிங் அவதாரா. சரிங்களா? ஸோ அப்போ என்ன ஆயிரும்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, அங்குள்ள புலவர்கள் ஸ்காலர்ஸ்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க? வெயிட் அ மினிட், திஸ் இஸ் அ ப்ராப்ளம், திஸ் இஸ் அ மிஸ்டேக். வால்மீகி ராமாயணத்தில் இந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்கள் கிடையாது. நீங்கள் எப்படி நரசிங்கரை உள்ளுக்கு போட்டீங்க? நம்ம இதுக்கு ஒத்துக்க மாட்டோம். யோர் ஒர்க் இஸ் நாட் பர்ஃபெக்ட், யோர் ஒர்க் இஸ் நாட் ஆத்தரைஸ்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இது இந்த பார்ட் இஸ் நாட் ஆத்தரைஸ்ட், இந்த பார்ட் நம்ம கட் பண்ணிடலாம். They said you remove this, like your lecturer said la, this is okay, this is okay, this one you cut, cannot. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லும் போது கம்பர் சொல்கிறாரு, நோ 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 நோ, நான் எதுவுமே கட் பண்ணலை, எதுவுமே பேஸ்ட் பண்ணலை, இது உண்மையான நடந்தது, ராமாயணத்தில் இது நடந்திருக்கு. இதுக்கு சாட்சியே அந்த பகவான் நரசிங்கர் தான் சொல்லுவார், சாட்சியே நரசிங்கர் தான் சொல்லுவார். ஸோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது அப்போ நீங்கள் நரசிங்கரே கேட்டுக்கோங்கன்னு சொல்லி நரசிங்கரை கேட்பாரு, நரசிங்கா சாட்சி சொல்லுங்கன்னு. யூ சே நரசிங்கா, திஸ் பீப்புள் தே டோன்ட் பிலீவ். ஸோ அப்போ என்ன ஆகும்னா, தே வில் பி ஹியர் ராரிங் சவுண்ட். ஸோ பேசிக்கலி இஃப் யூ கோ டு த பிளேஸ் ரைட் நவ், அந்த கம்ப மண்டபம் முன்னுக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நரசிங்கர் இருக்காரு, தேர்ஸ் எ நரசிங்கர் டேட்டி. ஸோ காட்டழகிய சிங்கர், ஹிஸ் நேம் இஸ் காட்டழகிய சிங்கர், if not mistaken, காட்டழகிய சிங்கர், காட்டழகிய சிங்கர், his name is காட்டழகிய சிங்கர். ஸோ அவர் அங்கே இருப்பார். அவர் என்ன பண்ணுவார்? கையை தூக்குவார், he raise his hand, கையை தூக்கி ராரிங் சவுண்ட் விடுவார். ஸோ அந்த எக்ஸாக்ட் கையை தூக்கிறது வந்து நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த ஸ்ரீரங்கம் டெம்பிளில் வந்து இருக்கும். புரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறது, நம்ம தமிழர்கள். கம்பராமாயணம் கம்பர் பாடினாரு, திருவள்ளுவர் பாடினாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஐ கேன் ஷோ யூ த பிளேஸ் ஆக்சுவலி. லெட் மீ see. And then you will know. Then you will have the understanding. So wait, let me see if I can show you the Kamban Arangetram, Kambaramayana Arangetram place. Okay. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தமிழர்கள் எல்லாமே வந்து என்னத்தை எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ பகவானை தான் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ இதான் நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஓகே, ஸோ லெட் மீ ஷேர் மை ஸ்க்ரீன், தென் யூ கேன் நோ. Where is this picture? ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ வேறு யார் பாரதியார். பிரபு, நீங்கள் பாரதியாரை பற்றி கேட்டிங்களா? இது ஒன் ஆஸ்கிங் ரைட், பாரதியார்?
Yes, Prabhu.
ஓகே, we will see பாரதியார் ஆல்சோ, நோ ப்ராப்ளம். பாரதியார் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு நம்ம ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்க்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ நம்ம பார்த்தோன்னா, ஓகே, let me share my screen sharing. ஓகே, ஸ்க்ரீன் தெரியுதுங்களா?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is the place. Can you see a mandapam here? This is the exact place where Kambaramayana was first presented. அரங்கேற்றம் சொல்லுவோம், அரங்கேற்றம் பண்ணது. ஸோ இதுதான் அந்த நரசிங்கா, காட்டழகிய சிங்கர். கை பாருங்க எப்படி இருக்குன்னு, எப்படி இருக்கா? ஸோ பகவானே வந்து சாட்சி சொல்றாரு கம்பருக்கு, ஆமா நீ சொன்னது ரைட்டு தானு. Then after that everyone accepted Kambaramayana as the authorized Ramayana. சரிங்களா? So like that we can see. Okay, and we can see here. Okay, this is Bharadiyar. So Bharadiyar, at the early stage of his life he was atheistic. But at the end of his life, he actually taken up, accepted Bhagavan, accepted Krishna, right? So this is one of his, his poem, composed by him. தீராத விளையாட்டு பிள்ளை கண்ணன், தெருவிலை பெண்களோடு ஓயாத தொல்லை, தினப்பழம் கொண்டு தருவான் பாதி, திங்கின்ற போதிலும் தட்டி பறிப்பான், என்னப்பன் என்னையன் என்றால் அத்தனை, எச்சிற்படுத்தி கடித்து கொடுப்பான், ரைட்? ஸோ அப்படின்றது தமிழில் வந்து மகாகவி பாரதியார் சொல்கிறாரு. நெவர் எண்டிங் பிளேஃபுல் பாய் கிருஷ்ணா, ஆன் த ஸ்ட்ரீட்ஸ் ஃபார் த woman endless trouble, to eat fruit he will offer, while trying to eat he will snatch it from you, when you beg with sweet words he takes a bite first and hands it over. கிருஷ்ணாவுடைய பாஸ்ட் டைம் இதை கோபிஸ் வந்து அவர் பாடுறாரு. ஸோ இது யாரு? மகாகவி. எல்லா தமிழர்களும் என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, இவருடைய ஃபோட்டோ தானே வச்சுப்பாங்க ஃபேஸ்புக்கில், பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. ஃபேஸ்புக் ப்ரொஃபைல் பிக்சர் பார்த்தா இவருடைய மியூசிக் ஃபோட்டோ தான் இருக்கும். ஆனால் இப்போ ஃபோட்டோ வச்சுக்கிறீங்க. ஆனால் தமிழர்கள் என்ன சொன்னாங்க நம்ம பார்க்கணுமா இல்லையா? தமிழர்கள் என்ன பண்ணாங்க? ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஓகேங்களா? So he is situated in everyone's heart as a supreme controller. The supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and these cannot be said of the individual soul. So Krishna, he is everywhere. He is all pervading, all knowing, but we are limited. We only know our body. Therefore there are two knowers of the field of activity, the individual soul and supreme. One must be admitted. So one's hands and legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands and legs are distributed everywhere. நம்ம அதை புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ பகவானுக்கு எல்லா இடத்துலையும் கண் இருக்குது, எல்லா இடத்துலையும் கால் இருக்குது. ஒன் ஆஃப் த ஐஸ் ஆஃப் பகவான் இஸ் சன், மூன். மாதா ஹரியோடைய கண்ணு, அதான் மாதா ஹரி. ஸோ This is confirmed in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Sarvasya Prabhum Ishanam Sarvasya Sharanam Brahat. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Super Soul, is Prabhu, master of all living entity. Therefore, he is the ultimate shelter of all living entity. So there's no denying the fact that the Supreme Super Soul and the individuals are always different. இவன் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். இல்லை நானும் பரமாத்மா ஒன்று, நான் அப்படியே நம்ம மெடிடேஷன் பண்ணால் நம்ம பரமாத்மா ஒன்று ஆயிடலாம், கடவுள் ஆயிடலாம்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. சரிங்களா? We are separate entity. There is a difference. We are limited. Bhagavan, Super Soul is unlimited. Okay. So, we will stop here. ஏதாச்சும் கேள்விகள் இருக்கா பிரபுஸ் அண்ட் மாதாஜிஸ்? Okay. So, any questions? Harishwan Prabhu? Clear?
Clear, bro.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah,
சொல்லுங்க.
but question கேக்குறப்ப வந்துட்டு not about today, bro, but I just want to ask about preaching. Yeah. So, like, I like a few weeks, 2 weeks ago, I asked about a question regarding one of the lawyer there asked about reading Mahabharata, etc. But similarly, since I'm working with Indians, so this kind of Indian talks, everything talking about God will be going on. I'll be like sitting there and I'll be like, okay. They will be talking, okay, இந்த ஐயர் இப்படி செய்ய சொன்னாரு, இந்த ஐயர் இப்படி செய்ய சொன்னாங்க. என் மனசுல வந்துட்டு ஐயோ, இந்த ஐயர் இப்படி சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க, ஆனா எதுக்கு செய்யறோம், இது எதுக்கு பண்றோம், இதெல்லாம் தெரியாம பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்களே. அது வந்துட்டு என்னால வந்துட்டு லைக் எப்படி சொல்றது, பேசுறதுக்கு பயமா இருக்கு. லைக் அதான் இந்த ப்ரீச்சிங் வந்துட்டு லைக் இந்த மாதிரி பீப்புள், ஃபார் தோஸ் ஹூ கேன் பி லைக் கன்சிடர் as being in ignorance. ஸோ அவங்க கிட்ட எப்படி நம்ம வந்துட்டு லைக் ப்ரீச்சிங் வந்துட்டு பண்றது, how can we share the knowledge with them, or will you recommend me not to speak about it very explicitly for the time being? எப்படி நீங்க வந்துட்டு suggest பண்ணுவீங்க பிரபு for them?
So it's actually case by case, so if the person is very favorable, interested to know, is asking you, then you can explain, right? So otherwise you can distribute prashadam, you can distribute books. So books, Prabhupada books is very powerful, right? Immediately when they open the book and read, all the ignorance will be dispelled, right? This is the only way, because otherwise when you speak, sometimes it might go into some arguments, some confusions, right? Because why? Because first of all, the another party is not ready to follow or listen or take the message. So we are creating more trouble. So very simple. You must always check the situation, whether he is favorable, he is inquisitive, then you can share. Nothing wrong. புரியுதுங்களா பிரபு? நம்ம பல when even in like my situation, my experience, there are some staffs even in coming from different religion, Malay, different background, they will be very inquisitive, they will be asking. So this is the golden opportunity. When someone inquisitively, sincerely ask you, then you should explain why you are wearing this. Kenapa doktor pakai ini ya? Apa ni doktor? People will ask, why you are wearing this, why you not eating meat. This is all preaching opportunities. So this is the meaning. That's why we should always in our Vaishnava attire always put in the feet of Bhagavan this Tulasi, always this Kantimala. Always we follow our relative principles. In this way we can preach, right? So definitely they will ask you, why you are not taking meat? Preaching opportunity. So why should I take meat? Right? So like that you can establish gradually. So first of all, scientifically, medically, it's not benefited, and ultimately spiritually also same Shastra is telling the same thing. So why not you time to listen? If you are real Tamilan, then Tiruvalluvar is also telling the same thing. There's a whole chapter dedicated against meat eating. Do you know that? So like that, it's a very step-by-step approach. Or if they ask your opinion, what do you think? Then you can say like that. Or if you are very close with them, you are quite good in relationship with them, then you can give your opinion. So it depends on the situation, right? Nothing wrong. Very politely we speak. So this is preaching. Preaching by our action and preaching by our words. Both are preaching. So by acharam, our activities, by properly decorating, by properly following the principles, this is also preaching. Why? Because when they ask, you can answer. And also to discuss and share with the people. That is also preaching. And also another effective way is giving books. Prabhu, this book is very nice. Why not you take a look, have a look. If you are interested in yoga, if you are interested in science or something beyond this matter, then you can read Science of Self-Realization. Prabhupada's book, Life Comes from Life. So all these are fantastic books. Right? So this is how you see. When someone is very inclined towards science, you can gift him these books. So then you can invite to temple. Say, Vanga temple will be nice prashadam, since they like to eat. You tell, lah, come, it's nice prashadam. Then slowly when they come and sit down in the class, they are forced to listen. Then they'll be listening. From 100% they are listening, maybe 2% they will be in their heart and they'll be asking. So in this way, slowly they will change. This is preaching. So that is why it's very important for us to preach as it is. Very important for even in the temple, any preachers who are sitting and giving class, they should be speaking the factual. If we are trying to dilute the points, we are trying to goreng the points so that we want to please the crowd, then we are gone. Big disaster. Right? So, that's point. Tactfully, very nicely, we should establish the truth. This is humility. Humility means speaking the truth. Not that you're pleasing the crowd and being respectful to everyone. That is not respectful. Respectful means you speak the message of Krishna as it is. This is respectful. Nowadays, we have this, we hear this from devotees. Some, not everyone. Prabhu, you should be respectful. You cannot speak on demigods. You cannot speak on, meditating. You respect everyone. That means what? You are trying to cheat everyone. So you are actually rascal. So if you are doing that, you are rascal. Because the very definition of respect means you are giving them the right thing. Right? If I am going to give you a certain dose of injection, it might have some pain, but it will save your life. That is respect. That is saving life. That is medicine. Not that temporarily I give you something very sweet, but at end I need to amputate your leg. Then you're gone. So this is very important, right? So like that, Prabhuji, right? So basically, books is a very effective tools. Inviting to temple is also very good. Bringing them some prasadam is also good, and also accordingly you can discuss and share. So this is my, this is my suggestions. Okay, Prabhu, is it good?
So just a follow-up question. For me, I just thinking like from what I'm seeing, I would say that they are typical, not literally practicing like the typical Hindus who are going to temple and doing things. So I'm thinking of like starting with having discussion in a way that I ask them questions. What do you know? What's the meaning of Hindu? Where does it comes from? Because mostly I would say most Hindus like they don't know the meaning of it.
Yes.
And even for example, they keep the Tinuri and everything. So even I know some meaning of why Tinuri means like, the Tirunir is made out of cow dung, they burn it, and then it has a significant of meaning like nothing is permanent, all those things. But people are just wearing it out of ritual, not spiritual. So I'm thinking of having the kind of discussion at a very preliminary level in my workplace. So what do you think about that?
Yes, Ken, that is good. That can be done. Very slowly you start a conversation related to the subject matter, and when they are showing interest, then you tackle it from there and bring it up. This is one of the technique also, right? So you are triggering, you're stimulating. That is a key point here. You're stimulating the discussion, the point of interest. Right? When you are asking a question, then you already stimulated the situation, and then they are rapt to respond. So they are responding nicely and they are willing to listen, then you can bring up the facts. So this is also how devotees used to do. So there are passion. That's why you are a real well-wisher. Anyone who will to share about all these things, they are the real well-wisher of the whole living entity. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. Right? This is the meaning. The well-wisher of every living entity. Right? So yes, Prabhu, that can be done. So like that, many many approaches you can use with your friends, with your relatives. So anything you can even if it's different. You see, we are not speaking about majority of our Hindus are like that. They are Mayavadis. Very simple. They are atheistic or Mayavadi are mixed. Only this. They will just follow for the sake of ritual, but they don't have faith. They will say no God, or they will say God has no form. Everything is God. Only these two only. So you have to slash out. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Our mission is to slash off these two things. Mayavadam, Shunyavadam, atheism. இவ்வளவுதான். Whether is atheistic or whether is Mayavadam. இது ரெண்டு தான் நம்மளுடைய ப்ராப்ளம். இது ரெண்டும் தாண்டிட்டா then okay. Even not only நம்ம தமிழர்கள் ஈவன் இன் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் மதத்துக்கு கூட நம்ம கூட ஷேர் பண்ணலாம், தப்பே கிடையாது. கிருஷ்ணா இஸ் ஃபார் எவ்ரிஒன். புரியுதுங்களா? இப்போ நம்ம தமிழர்களோட இப்போ நிறையா இவங்கள தான் நிறைய இன்க்ளூசிட்டிவாக கேள்வி கேட்குறாங்க. ஆனால் நம்ம என்ன நினைக்கிறோம், இல்லை நான் சொல்லக்கூடாது, நம்ம இவங்களாம் பேசக்கூடாது, இதுதான் தப்பு. இது முடியாது, பிரச்சாரமே பண்ண மாட்டோம். ஸோ இதுதான் தப்பு. இவங்களுக்கு தெரியாதுல்ல, இவங்களுக்கு பிடிக்காது, அதுதான் வி ஆர் ஸ்பெக்குலேட்டிங். இவங்களுக்கு பிடிக்காது, இல்லை இவங்களாம் ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியாது, ஸ்பெக்குலேட்டிங். இவங்க கேட்க மாட்டாங்க, ஸ்பெக்குலேட்டிங். இதுதான் பிரச்சனை. ஸோ பிகாஸ் வி டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு டூ, வி ஆர் கிவிங் so lot of reason. So yes bro, okay, so good. So you can try, Prabhu. Okay, please update us what is the progress, right? Or you can invite them to discussion, that's also good. வாங்க பிரபு, நீங்கள் பகவத் கீதா கற்றுக்கணும்னா we can have a special discussion. 2-3 பேர் இருக்காங்களா, வாங்க, we can have a Ishopanishad 2-week crash course. That's also can. So it's all depend on how we are moving. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
இப்போதைக்கு one of them, I usually do, usually before I start the work, like for example 8:30, I'll always keep the Bhagavad Gita in my table. So before the start, I will just read. They will be around me. They will be like, okay, Heart is reading, and also there will be one girl like take interest. Oh, okay, Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is in English. She'll come and like ask me and talk. So
Good.
that's one thing that I do. So gradually, I'm trying to spark up the interest over there.
Yes, definitely. Everyone is naturally interested. So we only need to give some stimulation. Right. So yes, bro. Thank you, bro. So thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.